Tis I. Hey everyone, glad to see you back, glad to see you looking fresh. And today, what a day. I want to talk about the new Lego Batman game. What an exciting announcement. And I am just so overwhelmingly excited for what looks to be one of, if not the best Lego game that they've ever done, because it doesn't really look like a Lego game, aesthetics aside. It looks like an Arkham game. It looks like they had an Arkham skeleton, and they're like, we can Legoify this. Just based on the stuff we've been hearing, outside of the trailer, which you're seeing the footage right now, there's been talking points from the developers saying stuff like, there's no Superman in the game. There's also Riddler trophies are in the game. Other villains that aren't from the movies are in the game. So a lot of people are saying, a lot of people are kind of misquoting that this game is just going to be the movies. And it clearly isn't. They clearly seem to be picking certain aspects from each movie to be showcasing. Like, for instance, the music being like Tim Burton's score over Robert Pattinson's Batsuit, fighting Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. Like, there's different parts that they're taking from each different franchise that Batman's been through, but I don't think it's going to be a retelling of the story. I think there'll be definite moments from the story if we're doing all of it, such as going to the League of Shadows and training with Ra's al Ghul, and we're doing all that stuff. But if the game's gonna go further beyond and have all these extra villains to take down, it can't just be what the movies were. Like, for instance, they just said that Condiment King will be in the game. There's no Condiment King in any live-action Batman movie. So there goes right there that there's going to be a lot more things to do in this game. And I was, like I said, just so excited to see what this game ended up being. There's been rumblings that obviously TT Games had to be working on something. I made a video over a year ago now, I think, talking about how I miss Lego games and kind of missed just how many there were for a long time. And Skywalker Saga took a while to make, and it showed, right? They clearly made it a whole new game, and it wasn't just kind of the copy-paste that a lot of Lego games were, right? As much as I like them, a lot of them are pretty samey. Skywalker Saga was a wholly new thing, and the Batman seems to be that more. The Rise of the Dark Knight seems to be a wholly new thing. Arkham games notwithstanding on that. And that's an interesting point, too, because I was thinking about, I had this plan to make a video, which I guess kind of we can just yap on now, because that video doesn't really need to be made. I made that I miss Lego games, and earlier this year I missed Telltale games. Interestingly enough, both involve Batman. And I was going to make I miss the Arkham games, because Rocksteady was able to create something so magical and so deep in lore and fan service, but just an incredible game outside of all of that those games have stood the test of time. In Arkham Asylum and City and Night, and then of course Warner Bros. Montreal's Origins is not as good, but it's still pretty good. But those games are so solid. They're so much fun and they're so replayable that I just wanted another one. And it stinks that, Rocksteady was put in charge of a Suicide Squad game that took a decade to come out, and then it wasn't that great. And now they're just stuck with that. And, I'm not saying that they should be relegated to only Arkham games for forever, but I feel like we could have got more. Four is not bad. Four, the franchise, the video game franchise, isn't too bad. But still, think about how quickly those games kind of came out. Look at the time difference between Arkham City and Arkham Knight, right? Arkham City came out 2000. 2012, 2011, and Arkham Knight came out 2015. So 3 or 4 years. And there was an Arkham Origins in between that. That pace for games is unheard of nowadays. Now, like, Ghost of Tsushima is a good, I think, equivalency. You know, Ghost of Tsushima came out in 2020, and now Ghost of Yotei is 2025. So that's a 5-year gap. Sucker Punch says that they do 1 game per, and I'm pretty sure Rocksteady's the same. But you look at a game like Arkham Knight, and people are still saying, like, this game looks amazing, even by today's standards, and it does. And it kind of goes to show you that graphics haven't really improved too much, and games haven't improved too much. I'm kind of going on a side tangent here talking about the Arkham games, but this Lego Batman game, if you look at the gameplay and you hear what they're saying, talking about how the combat is super focused and you're going to be doing counters and combos and dodges and using gadgets, and then also there's difficulty levels in a Lego game for the first time. But also there's the whole open world Gotham to explore. And like I said, the Riddler trophies alone kind of sold it on the idea of yeah, this is an Arkham game in disguise. And am I going in expecting, you know, Batman Arkham 5? No. Part of me wants to hold back a little bit and be like, let's let this game do what it's going to do. If I end up playing it, and if I end up feeling the same feelings I do replaying, you know, Arkham City for the half dozenth time at this point, then maybe, just maybe, I'll be changing my tune, and I'll be starting to sing its praises and like, yeah, well, welcome back, Batman Arkham. But as it stands right now, I'm kind of, I want to be like that, but I'm gonna hold myself back. I'm gonna hesitate in saying that just yet, because literally 3 days ago, as the time of this video coming out, we didn't know this game was real. We didn't know this game existed in the way it does. And so, it's still very much the honeymoon period of just pure excitement. And there's already jokes about how next year at the Game Awards, it's Lego Batman versus GTA 6. And while, yes, there is some level of, I say some, there is a lot of level of irony behind that. If they're able to pull off what my childlike sense of wonder wants it to be able to pull off, I don't see that being too outlandish of an argument, you know? If the Game Awards were around back when Arkham City was running things, I mean, that was actually a pretty good year now that I think about it, when Arkham City was around, but that very easily could have been nominated for Game of the Year, and maybe should have won. I haven't really gone back and looked specifically what all the games were that came out that year, but that was in the conversation for sure. Now, just because it's in a Lego version, I don't think that should immediately disqualify it from said conversation either. But then again, we have to see what the game comes out. You know, I joked before the Skyward Sword came out that that's going to be the game to start my PS5 journey, and the game got delayed too much, and I ended up getting a PS5 before then. And then that game ended up being pretty dang good, but not, like, incredible, like I kind of hoped it would be. So, that's where my expectations are set right now. It's based on the Skywalker Saga. It's not pure, unadulterated excitement. I am, like I said, with the whole Arkham discussion, I'm mildly hesitant. I want to just be full force, being like, yes, this is going to be the game of the year of 2026. And I do think it's going to be one of them. I definitely can see myself at the end of 2026 saying it's one of the 10 best games of the year. But I'm not going to crown it just yet, because, like I said, Skyward Saga, while it did a lot of cool stuff, had some issues, and I hope that doesn't plague Lego Batman, The Rise of the Dark Knight, but it just might. But we will see next year when the game comes out, and as of now, I don't really want to see any more trailers. I kind of want to go in as blind as I can. Obviously, I know that the developers are going to be speaking on it at Gamescom, and things are going to come out about it, and people are excited. It's the new thing. We're almost definitely going to see it on the trailer before the game comes out, but as much stuff as I can avoid, I'll try to, because this is probably going to be a day one purchase for me. I don't do that a lot with games nowadays, just because You know, I mean, money and time, that's the age-old problem at this point. But this probably will be, just based on my love for not only Batman, but, you know, Lego games as a whole. But we'll see. I'm very, very excited, and I hope you are as well. So, I guess that's my question. Are you excited for the Lego Batman? Are you disappointed it's not like Lego Marvel or a new Lego something else? I knew there was a couple other ones that I was tossing around in my head, like they could do Indiana Jones again, you know, being after Star Wars. They could do Lego The Infinity Saga based off of Marvel. Or just go a whole new franchise, or, I don't know, do like Lego City Undercover and make a whole new thing on their own. Either way, I'm excited because, yeah, they're doing like the Lego Batman, the movies. So I guess that means the Lego Batman movie stuff will probably show up at some point too. I gotta watch that movie again. It's been a while. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Thank you so very much for watching. As always, like this if you like this, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you at some point.